Number one, obviously, we were very disappointed, in the outcome on Saturday. We really never got started, particularly offensively. We start in the first play of the game or second play of the game. We have a penalty down there in their student section, and it never found a rhythm. When you look at it, and then Braxton gets poked in the eye. He's better. He's practiced yesterday, and he'll be fine for the game. But we had 5 false starts offensively, and defensively we had a big penalty that they called roughing on the quarterback, and it really, to me, I think the play before that was the same, and so or 2 plays before that. But we just got to play better. We got to coach better, and that falls on me. And we need to create some turnovers and opportunities. We haven't done that very well as an offense. As a defense, and offensively, we got to find a rhythm, and we need to run the ball when we need to have a little bit more control, but we can't hurt ourselves with the dumb penalties. That's a discipline thing, and we got to do a good job coaching that.
What is the status of Haskell?
Well, him and I have had some conversations over the last 2 days, and Will is going to, when the portal opens, he is going to investigate the portal, and I encouraged him, and he's going to finish his classes and do those things, which everything that he needs to do. But we wish him best of luck.
Has this been coming for a while, or did it just happen?
No, well, him and I talked yesterday, and then we talked this morning. So has it been coming? I couldn't tell you that. I can't speak for him.
You've lost 3 quarterbacks since December in this program. What does that speak to about where you are in terms of either developing quarterbacks or relationships with coaches and quarterbacks? That's a lot of talent.
I think that's a bad statement by you and an unfair statement.
How would you perceive it?
I think guys want to play. And if they're not playing, they're not staying. And I get that.
Coach, you mentioned post-game that you thought Kyle gave you the best opportunity to win the game. Was that decision made after Will had his one drive, or was that made prior to the game?
Well, I think it was more after the drive with where we should have gone with the football.
The college football transfers are rampant, and people transfer for various different reasons. If you could, why do you think Will would be wanting to transfer?
Well, I think he's a competitor. I think he wants to play.
You said you encouraged him to move on?
No, what I said was he had a decision him and his family made, and we're going to support him.
You said you encouraged him. What did you mean by that?
Well, I didn't mean, that was probably a bad word to say. I didn't encourage him to do anything. I'd love for him to have stayed.
Coach, what is your confidence level in Jeff Hecklinski and his ability to be able to turn the offense around?
I have a lot of confidence in Heck, and, there's a lot of things more than, just one guy, right? So I have a lot of faith in him. He believe me, from his work ethic and what we're doing and what we're trying to get done. It was a very young offensive line when we started, and it's younger now. And so, there's a lot of things. And, the one thing, we played a damn good football team. I can assure you of that. And we played them a year ago, and we came out on top. And it went into 3 overtimes. Playing at their place, the environment, we had 5 false starts. Some of that was created by what you had out there as far as, their students and the noise level. And so some of that happens there, but I have a lot of faith in Heck and that whole offensive staff.
You mentioned practicing? Or is he the starter? You seem to have some reluctance after the game of naming him the starter for the next week if he was healthy.
Say it again.
Is Braxton expected to be the starter this
Yes.
week? And then Kyle Crum, he on that final drive, he was able to kind of find himself and made some really good throws. How important was his handling the adversity that he faced in the environment, all the stuff you were talking about, and then him be able to make that drive, score that touchdown for his development, his confidence? What do you think it means to you?
Well, for a young player and coming in there in the situation in that environment, he handled it well. I know he missed one read early, and I talked to him on the sidelines about it, and he said, "You're right, Coach. I got to do this with the ball." He knows what he's doing. He knows the offense, and I'm excited for him in his future.
Coach, as an offensive unit, where do you want to see the most growth from your guys?
Well, I think we've got to have balance. We rushed the ball for 380 yards one week, and then there wasn't 380 on last Saturday, I can guarantee you. So the balance that we need to have, I think there's some, really liked the way Jalen Armstead ran with the football, and so the physicalness that he brings, I think that room is a great room for us, and we got to keep utilizing it.
The passing's down almost last of 131 teams. Is that on the quarterbacks not performing? Is it not?
It's on everybody.
Not communicating well enough? And how do you?
I think it's on everybody.
Brady, you mentioned that Will didn't make the right read that one opportunity he had against Utah. Is that something you've seen before from him, either in practice or when he has got in the game? Because obviously you're not making decisions out
Todd, I don't want to, get into that part of it. Yes, I mean, we want him to be perfect. Nobody's perfect.
But it seems like a lot of times a young quarterback, you want to give room to grow and make mistakes and learn from those. And three plays and gone seems pretty abrupt.
Well, we had a whole practice. We've been practicing for, 12 weeks or more, right? There's a lot of stuff out there.
Coach, when you put Will in, was the staff aware of the severity of Braxton's injury and that he was not?
Well, I don't know if we knew right then. We knew that he had a hand to the helmet and into the eye. That's what the trainers told me. And so we know as much as we can in that short amount of time.
Did that factor
So-
into the decision at all? I mean, for him to only play 3 snaps, was it because you thought Braxton was going to come back? Was there?
No.
Jesse Matthews had a great end to the last season, and there were expectations that he could kind of continue that for the entire season. That hasn't obviously happened. How is his mindset right now and making sure that he's staying?
Jesse's one of our great leaders on this football team. And you got a guy who earned a scholarship because of his attitude and what he does.
He did so well down the stretch last year. Why is he not getting targets this year?
There's probably been targets, there has been targets that we haven't been able to get the ball to him one way or another, whether it's we're not protecting well enough on a play or we're making a wrong decision. It goes both ways.
Look at the offensive line, is it in crisis right now because it's so young, or is the fact you just got your brains beat out by 2 Pac-12 teams and the young kids are really slow?
You know what?
Crisis.
I don't think it was a crisis unless you manipulate it, but I don't think there is one. I do think that when I turn on the film on Sunday and watch that side of the ball, there's some really good things that some of those young kids are doing. And, all of them, what he's doing and watching him, but that right side with Ross and Simmons, I think both those guys, you see growth every time you look at the tape, and believe me, I watch plenty of it, and I like the development and where they're going, Lee. I do think that was the 14th ranked team in the country who got beat at Florida and should have won the game. So they're pretty good.
Do you change anything offensively to try to protect Braxton? Because he's taking
Yeah. If I said too much, I might be in trouble, but, as far as, yeah, we're gonna look at things to help him.
Big boy football, run the football.
Well, that's part of it.
How much is his psyche that he leaves the pocket too soon and exposes him?
You know, that's one thing that, you know, you get with him is he loves to run the football. And, are there times when he should stay in there? Probably. But there's, you know, times when he's going to make something happen, and he may have not let or not felt confident to let the protection continue. But he's, you know, he's an aggressive guy. It's one reason I love him, because he, you know, has a good sense of who he is.
Jay Rudolph hasn't played yet this year. Given he kind of is an extension of the offensive line, how much impact has that had on the offense?
Well, I think, you know, when you have him and Mark and in there, you've got two really good pass catchers, obviously, and two guys. And Jay's a physical guy. You know, he loves to block. He brings that to you, you know. And hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to get him back.
Is there any consideration to move Jalen Naden back to quarterback?
No.
Of your top 4 quarterbacks from last year, all of them could have returned, but now none of them are here. 3 are gone and one's moved to defense. Was that by mutual agreement? Do they want to leave? And why not try and bring some of that experience back and maybe coach them up some more?
They really wanted to leave.
Lucas wanted to leave?
Yeah. Lucas wanted to leave, yes.
Because he had such a big bowl game, you would have thought he'd be excited to be back and
Yeah.
see what he can build on.
Yeah.
Is any of that coaching? I mean, when you see an exodus of quarterbacks like that, how much of it's just maybe not seeing eye to eye with coaches, or is there any?
Well, I think there's a lot of guys who don't see eye to eye with all the coaches. But I don't know if that's, I don't think that's a situation.
Does that become a concern, that how that looks to the outside, the optics, when you're trying to bring in a new quarterback?
Right now, we're just taking care of ourselves.
Over the last 3 years, how would you grade Jeff Hickenley as the offensive coordinator?
I think Jeff's done a nice job. Would we like him to do better? Yeah. But it's just not Jeff.
Hey, Brady, on the defensive front seven, it's played well, but the back end's giving up a chunk of plays. Something missing on the back end right now?
I think we also haven't, you know, you said the front 7 or front 6, really, for us, we haven't got enough pressure on the quarterback. I mean, we've got to beat more one-on-ones. And so if the quarterback feels good about being able to stand there and throw the football, right, then your back end isn't going to be as good. So we got to do a better job up front.
Coach, any philosophy changes for offense just coming into Toledo? I mean, obviously, like you said, when you play a team like Utah, one of the best in the Pac-12 or in the country, really, I mean, it's kind of hard to find an offensive rhythm. I mean, now you're playing Toledo, their offense or defense is still relatively decent, but, you know, is that going to change any philosophy?
Well, the only thing I can tell you, you know, Toledo is a very good football team. I mean, they love their football. Believe me, I coached there 2 years, but they're a really good team. Jason's done a really good job. You look at them from a defensive standpoint, the 2 linebackers are really good players. The defensive lineman is really twitchy and can make a lot of plays. And then offensively, the quarterback, Daquan, is really a good player. Finn is. He makes things happen. He extends plays, does an awful lot with his feet.
Do you think it's a good, you know, kind of good matchup to find a little bit of rhythm offensively?
Oh, I don't know about that. The one thing I know is, you know, very similar, the Mid-American Conference, when you look as a whole, is very similar in a lot of ways to the Mountain West. You know, it's different states, different peoples from different parts of the country, but there's a lot of similarities, I think, in the teams in that league.
And obviously, you don't have to go into detail, but any philosophies that, you know, you really want to hone in on this week against these guys?
Well, offensively, we want to run the football. You know, we want to run the football. We want to play action it, take some shots when we get a chance. And then, you know, and also when you look at another team, that kind of dictates a little bit within your system what you want to do offensively. Is it the quick game, you know, because they're playing off, whatever it might be.
Coach, how would you describe your 2 years at Toledo?
Oh, it was great. We loved it there. It was worked for a guy named Dan Summerall, who was one of the best coaches I've ever worked for or been around, and one of the greatest human beings. And our daughter was really young, so but Laura and I, we really liked Toledo.
You mentioned Finn, but he's also the receivers have made huge plays.
They make a lot of chunk plays, and a lot of that comes from his ability to extend the play. And so you got guys running free sometimes down the middle of the field.
Can you talk about Cooper and what he's brought to the defense with his brother?
You know, I was lucky enough to play with my brother in college, and so it's kind of neat to see Coop and Caden, obviously. They enjoy each other an awful lot on the field. They bring a lot of energy. Coop is, we're excited that he's going to be here for, 2 more years. So he's a guy who, he plays his tail off. He's like his brother, and then his brother's not going to let him not play hard. And that's the same thing with the Tavais. Jonah, believe me, with Justice isn't going to play poorly.
Cooper the most active linebacker you've had in a while? He's just everywhere.
Yeah, Andrew Olecki was a linebacker who, and Sagoon, Luby from last year. Those two guys remind me, only Coop's a little bigger, a little more physical, but remind me of those two guys.
You said you guys want to still be run dominant, but how concerned are you with the inabilities of the passing game, and what can you do to stimulate that more?
Say it again.
What can you do to get the passing game going, or how much do you want the passing game to be more involved?
Well, what we want to do is win. And whatever's going to give us the best opportunity, whether it's running for 380 yards, even though we would like to be a little more balanced, there's no doubt about it. Whatever it takes for us to play our best football and win.
In this day and age, a lot of passing offenses are a lot more wide open, throwing the ball around, and that's what fans are excited to see. How do you address when fans say, we'd like to see the ball thrown around?
Now, that's fine. I'd like to win.
Anything else for your coach?
What's Chance Bell's health
I
status?
we'll see at the end of the week kind of where he's at. I don't think we'll have him this week, but we'll see.
Coach, your description of Quinn was very similar to how you described every quarterback you face, including the back of the eye. Does that help to be able to kind of see a similar type guy for your defense to be able to handle?
This guy's a little different, though. I'll promise you. If you watched tape, he's a little different. He's a little different. He's a kid out of King High School in Detroit, and he's got some moxie to him.